believe there's a 99% chance he signs with Cleveland this summer. LeBron would then have the storybook ending retirement tour on a true title contending team where it all started. Is he willing, though? Cavs are a second apron team and would only be allowed to give him the vet minimum, according to Anthony Lima. Talked to a few execs in the media world about how much LeBron could get for the rights to this farewell streaming bidding war, and was told somewhere between 40.
I just want to know what you think about all that.
That's what they said. That's what they said.
Right.
The man is forever young. The last 2 games, the man been harder than a spoon in a crack house. You know what I'm
Shannon Sharpe and Sharpe and Ochocinco just did something they never do. They went on their podcast and made a guarantee. Not a prediction, not a speculation, a guarantee. LeBron James is going back to Cleveland, and the money involved, it's going to blow your mind. This isn't about basketball anymore. This is about business. This is about legacy. And according to Unc and Ocho, it's already a done deal.
You don't do is fuck with LeBron cookies. No. This is serious. Like, he loves chocolate chip cookies. Like, chocolate chip cookies and ice cream he loves, right? And so when he gets on the plane, Bron walks on the plane with a bag of food. One bag is all cookies, and the other bags are what his chef has prepared for him to eat, because he eats a certain way. He don't eat what's on the plane.
Yeah.
But he have his cookies. So we get on the plane, and we play cards at the front of the plane. We play cards, and then at some point, Bron gonna be like, "Hey, bring me those cookies."
Ooh. Based on his career scoring average, 27.2, he would need 18 more games. Yep. Based on his current scoring average of 29 points, he would need 17 games. But I'm going to bump it up because I believe he's about to go on over.
The setting was a late February episode of Nightcap, the wildly popular podcast hosted by Shannon Sharpe and Sharpe and Ochocinco. The two former athletes have built a reputation for unfiltered, hilarious, and surprisingly insightful sports commentary. But on this episode, they went further than they ever had before. I can make the decision for LeBron, Ochocinco declared, leaning into the camera with the confidence of a man who knows something the rest of the world doesn't. This could be the decision 2.0. I can tell you LeBron is going to Cleveland, and it's gonna happen. Sharpe, never one to be outdone, nodded in agreement. The two men had clearly discussed this before the cameras started rolling. I like it, Ochocinco continued. It makes sense to me. Back home to where it all started. But it wasn't just the prediction that caught everyone's attention, it was the money part. Not only would he get a farewell, Ochocinco explained, you get a vet minimum, but you have so much going on off the court. That's when Sharpe dropped the number that made the internet lose its collective mind. He could make $70 million just from the farewell tour alone, Sharpe revealed. $70 million, not from basketball, from selling the streaming rights to his final season. The math suddenly made sense. LeBron would take a massive pay cut from $52.6 million with the Lakers down to a veteran minimum of roughly $3.6 million with Cleveland, but he'd make it up and then some by controlling the narrative, the content, the farewell in a way no athlete ever had before. When you're as big as LeBron James, the money finds you. One sports business analyst told ESPN, he doesn't need a max contract. He needs a platform, and Cleveland gives him the ultimate platform. The guarantee was made, the money was real, but what did Sharpe and Ochocinco know that the rest of us didn't? Subscribe to find out.
Our fundraise last March, literally we closed it the day, that Wednesday, I'll never forget, it was March 11th, the day the NBA, which was the beginning of the end, when the NBA postponed the games that night and sent the players who were already on the floor back to the locker room. And I got an email 4 hours before that we had gotten the last sign-off. And the truth is, it's been a lot of work. We took 3 companies that were all our companies, Uninterrupted, the robot company, Spring.
He went on his show and said, oh, don't let LeBron fool you. Like, he wears number 23 because of Michael Jordan. Okay, that's a fact. He signed with Nike because of Michael Jordan. It's like, no, I didn't. I signed with Nike because I got a hell of a signing bonus, and they gave me a 7-year, $90 million contract. And I moved my mom out of the
To understand why Sharpe and Ochocinco are so confident, you have to understand the financial landscape LeBron James operates in. He's not just a basketball player, he's a media empire. Through his Spring Hill company, LeBron has produced films, documentaries, and television shows that have grossed hundreds of millions. His partnership with Nike is worth more than $1 billion over his lifetime. He's a two-time recipient of the Sports Business Journal's Sports Business Person of the Year award. But the farewell tour concept takes things to an entirely new level. Anthony Lima of Cleveland's 92.3 The Fan first floated the number on social media. The future Hall of Famer could rake in as much as $70 million by selling the streaming rights to that farewell tour. Here's how it would work. Instead of allowing networks to broadcast his final season for free, LeBron would partner with a streaming platform, Netflix, Amazon, Apple, to document every moment, every arena, every ovation, every emotional goodbye. The streaming wars are desperate for content, and LeBron's farewell would be the most watched documentary series in sports history. Netflix would pay $50 million for that without blinking, one media executive told The Athletic. Amazon would go higher. Apple would get in a bidding war. You're talking about the greatest player of his generation saying goodbye. That's not content, that's history. Combine that with the veteran minimum salary from the Cavaliers, and LeBron walks away with more money than any max contract could provide, while writing the most poetic ending in sports history. Not only would he get a farewell, you get a vet minimum, but you have so much going on off the court, Ochocinco summarized perfectly. The math is undeniable, the opportunity is unprecedented, and according to Unc and Ocho, it's already in motion. The money makes sense, but why Cleveland specifically? The next chapter reveals what makes the Cavaliers the perfect landing spot.
And as bad as people are saying.
Twitter is
Yeah, I know.
y'all out there.
I know I'm the scapegoat right now. But look, though, that comes with the name, though.
Okay.
And that comes with what they brought me in for.
Okay.
So, it's granted. I'm not going to say I'm playing great. But to me, I'm just missing shots for it.
Okay.
And people are like, oh, you're shooting 25%. All right, let's actually take the percentages and let's talk about what that is. That's 4 shots a game.
Okay.
And I'm making one.
Okay.
Shitty, but I promise you we're not winning and losing games off of 4 shots.
Okay.
You feel me? So
Okay.
that's that.
Just hit 2 of them, bro.
My big takeaway from being there is there is an aura this team is starting to play with, guys. It is a level of confidence that did not exist prior to the James Harden trade, and it's tangible. Sometimes we talk about the X factor, the it factor. You can't actually feel it. You just kind of know when you see it.
The Cavaliers LeBron would be returning to are not the lottery teams he left in 2010 and 2018. This is a legitimate championship contender with a roster built to win now. Donovan Mitchell is averaging 28 points per game and has developed into one of the most lethal scorers in the league. He's already made his recruitment pitch public. As a Bron fan, to be able to be a teammate, that would obviously be special, Mitchell said during All-Star Weekend. But that's not something in my control. I control what we got here. At the end of the day, it's LeBron James, right? James Harden, acquired at the trade deadline, gives the Cavaliers another elite playmaker and scorer. At 36, he's not the MVP he once was, but he's still capable of taking over games and creating offense for himself and others. Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen provide the defensive backbone that every championship team needs. Mobley is already one of the best young defenders in the league, and Allen is a rim-protecting, rebounding machine. LeBron wouldn't have to carry the load. He wouldn't have to be the man every single night. He could be what he's evolved into, a brilliant veteran leader who makes everyone around him better, who steps up when it matters most, who provides the championship DNA that this young core desperately needs. This team is ready to win right now, one Eastern Conference scout told ESPN. Add LeBron James to that mix, even at 41, and you're instantly the favorite in the East, maybe the favorite overall. The Cavaliers also have the financial flexibility to make it work. They position themselves under the second apron of the salary cap with moves before the trade deadline. They can offer LeBron the veteran minimum or potentially use the tax mid-level exception to give him a slightly larger deal. From the Cavs' perspective, it's simple, Brian Windhorst explained. Basically, they say to LeBron, if you want to play with us, this is what we can offer. And if LeBron wants the money, he'll get it elsewhere. But if he wants the farewell, the legacy, the storybook ending, Cleveland is the only place that makes sense. The fit is perfect. The money is there. But what about the Lakers? How did the relationship finally reach its end? The next chapter reveals the final conversations that sealed LeBron's fate.
If LeBron comes back next year, I think the Lakers are going to be unwatchable for me. I'm just speaking personally. The Lakers to me are going to be unwatchable because it will feel like you got somebody that it's like, and shout out to Man Down Sports. He brought up this analogy. He's used it a few times, not analogy, this example a few times, and it's hilarious.
I need to start with this LeBron James situation. What's going to happen with LeBron after the Lakers lose in the playoffs? Everybody's nailed it down to, okay, he's got 3 options. So he can stay with the Lakers cheaper than that max deal that he's making now. Or, maybe he goes to Cleveland on the cheap. And then there's door number 3, which is just he could straight up retire, right? LeBron just walk away, which does kind of seem random for LeBron. I can't see that. The all-time greats.
While Cleveland was preparing to welcome their king home, the Lakers were quietly making their own plans, and those plans didn't include LeBron James. According to multiple reports, the Lakers were prepared to ask James to take a significant pay cut if he wanted to return for the 2026-27 season. ESPN's Brian Windhorst shared on Get Up that the Lakers were most certainly going to make that request. The message was clear. The franchise was moving on. Real GM reported that the Lakers could have over $50 million in cap space if they chose to move on from LeBron James and Rui Hachimura this summer. Their free agency targets told the story. Andrew Wiggins, Tari Eason, Peyton Watson, young, versatile forwards who could defend and shoot. The Lakers were building for the future, not clinging to the past. The Lakers will welcome LeBron James back if he wants to stay with the team, Real GM noted, but his salary, if he re-signs, will be a big factor in the type of roster they build out. The subtext was unmistakable. LeBron could stay, but only at a discount and only as part of someone else's team. Jeannie Buss, the owner LeBron had formed such a strong bond with over the years, had already addressed James's uncertain future with CNBC earlier in February. Never say never, but he certainly hasn't given any indication. The relationship that had saved the Lakers from irrelevance, that had delivered a championship in 2020, that had weathered Westbrook trades and family drama and endless speculation, it had finally run its course. If James is willing to take a serious pay cut, then the options would expand, Sam Amick of The Athletic wrote. But if he insists on staying at a maximum salary level or anything close to it, then the lack of a market for that sort of money could be the final factor in his exit. LeBron wasn't willing to take a discount in Los Angeles, but he was willing to take one in Cleveland. That told you everything you needed to know about where his heart truly was. The Lakers have moved on. Cleveland is waiting, and Unc and Ocho have guaranteed it's happening. The final chapter reveals what this means for the NBA and the farewell tour that will define a generation. Shannon Sharpe and Chad Ochocinco don't make guarantees lightly. They've been around the game long enough to know that nothing in sports is certain until the ink is dry. But in this case, they see what everyone else sees, a perfect storm of legacy, money, and timing. LeBron James will return to Cleveland for a 3rd stint at the Cavaliers. It's the storybook ending that almost seemed too perfect to be real, and yet, here it is. The farewell tour will be historic. Every arena will honor him. Every city will celebrate him. And when the Cavaliers take the court for their home opener in October 2026, the ovation will be heard around the world. He's the endurance GOAT in professional sports history, Stephen A. Smith recently proclaimed. No one in professional sports has maintained such a high level for so long. That's how great he is. The streaming rights alone could net LeBron upwards of $70 million. The minimum salary will be a rounding error. The legacy, however, will be priceless. Brian Windhorst put the probability at 99%. That remaining 1% was always about LeBron's own uncertainty about whether he wanted to keep playing. But the 41-year-old has shown no signs of slowing down. He's averaging 22.0 points, 7.1 assists, and 5.8 rebounds per game this season. He just became the oldest player in NBA history to record a triple-double. The game hasn't left him, and he's not ready to leave it. "My game is not going anywhere," James said recently. "It's just my body. There are so many more factors that come with how long I will play the game. I don't think my game will ever suffer if I decided to continue to go, however long that is." Shannon Sharpe and Chad Ochocinco saw it clearly. The money, the legacy, the perfect ending. LeBron James is going home. Not as a savior this time. Not as the kid carrying the weight of a franchise and a city on his shoulders. He's going home as a legend, as a champion, as the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. He's going home to finish what he started, to write the final chapter of a story that began in Akron, Ohio in 2003. The Los Angeles Lakers era is over. The Cleveland Cavaliers era is about to begin, and the entire basketball world will be watching. Donovan Mitchell said it best. It's LeBron James, right? Indeed, it's LeBron James, and he's coming home. What does LeBron's return to Cleveland mean for the NBA? Will the Cavaliers win it all in 2027? Drop your thoughts in the comments. For more breaking NBA news and analysis, hit subscribe.